Hey guys, what's up? So the next poem I'll be reading is poem 1145, and this is called When People Say to Get Over It. Not everyone can run at the same speed. Besides, every situation is different. I think this is a really good message to the outside world to really stop making assumptions and going right to judgment, but really listen, actually listen to someone's story before making your own realization, and be careful with your words because you never know, one day you may be in that very same situation. When people say to get over it, you think you know my story just because you're a brand new mother and you've been reading those what to expect when you're expecting books. But there's so much more that you don't understand. Besides, you are only seeing it from your side. You keep saying that I'm justifying my response, and I can tell by the way you're looking at me that you think that I'm an ungrateful, spoiled, a selfish child that if I was your kid deserves a spanking immediately. But instead, you say something worse. You open that mouth and say, just get over it. And I wonder if that's what you're going to tell your unborn child when they grow up and they disobey you. When people eye something they don't like, they don't try to understand, they try to mock or say it's wrong or discipline. What if in fact there was something deeper there, but you actually disregarded it? For you stated the obvious. When people say to get over it, you actually break another piece inside of them because you were not listening. You think you know her story. Her kids have come home for the holidays from college or from their own families. They see her mourning because of her husband, the only man she's ever been with, the only man she's ever really loved, the only man that knew her in all those years of marriage and history. They are freaking out. They are treating her like a child, like she doesn't know better, like there's something wrong with her. One of the daughters thinks it's time to get back out in the world, get out of bed, start dating again, get into clubs, be around people, remove the pictures from the walls. You say something worse. You open that mouth and say, just get over it, and wonder if that's what you're going to tell your child if something ever happened to your husband. It's so easy to give people advice, perhaps because number one, you're not in their shoes, and number two, advice are pretty little words that you're giving someone wrapped in a red bow. And even if you understand, even if you say you were there, you weren't. Because we all react to things differently. When people say to get over it, you actually break another piece inside of them because you were not listening. You think you know his story because you see a rebellious teenager who steals money from your purse, that steals money from kids at school, that does everything he can to get into drugs. You keep saying to your girlfriends that you don't understand why your son is doing this, that he's behaving that way. Have you ever thought of asking him how he felt when his father left? What if he ever thought of the new man that you've been bringing around the house? Have you ever thought that maybe he doesn't like him and he's trying to avoid confrontation? Maybe that's why he's trying to escape. But you are taking that man's advice of sending him to a military school. You say something worse. You open that mouth and say, just get over it. And I wonder if that's what you're going to tell your husband and if he's ever caught doing something that you don't like. We never see the part of the story that we want to see because we just assume with our eyes that it's true. So we never try to understand. So you send him to that school, and instead he takes it on his own and signs himself up for rehab. When people say to get over it, you actually break another piece inside of them because you were not listening. You're sitting there with tears in your eyes because you finally saw the truth, the one that you assumed was this way. At the time, it may have broke us, but maybe it only pushed us harder. But now you know, instead of rushing to judgment, that sometimes things aren't exactly what they appear.